Hello there. I have just driven back. I'm almost home from the 21 Pilots listening party at a mall not too far away from me for Breach, the album that comes out in, I believe, 6 days. And I'm just going to give a very, very quick opinions video. First, I'll say for historical reasons that for those who didn't get the chance to go to any of the listening parties, they came with vocal commentary in between some of the tracks. Just Tyler. Josh wasn't in any of the vocal commentary tracks. Tyler gave some context, kind of in the same way that he would for any of the live streams that they do for these albums, that they did for, I know for Clancy, but also for the anniversary live streams. Kind of in that style, but because it's not a live stream and because it's not like Josh and Tyler together, it was a little more focused and a little more straightforward. I really liked those commentary tracks. They gave context, like how Robot Voices is actually a collaboration with another band. I forget the name of the band, but yeah, Tyler heard a song from an indie band that he really liked, and he took the bridge from that song, collaborated with the band to take that song and take the bridge from the original song you heard and make it into the chorus of Robot Voices. So I believe it's like a faux cover slash, I don't know what you'd call it. I mean, heavily sampled, I would imagine, or just reimagined song. So that's really cool. I know that there was one song that featured Tyler's child or children screaming, his daughters, I think, screaming just like into his iPhone microphone, and that starts off the song. So that's interesting. I'm not gonna make this video too long, but I will just share some general vibes and opinions. Like, first of all, I love the album. It was very interesting being in public, kind of like, I don't even really call it like dancing to some of the tracks, because there's not really room to dance when you're in a very crowded record store, but like stimming, I guess, to the music, which it was a unique experience. It was really great to be in public with a bunch of other 21 Pilots fans. At my particular listening party, there were multiple people that had Ned plushes. I asked the person who had the more detailed one, because they were both like life-sized, I'd say, like how you'd imagine them to be in real life size-wise. I asked the person who had the more detailed one where they got it from, and they said that they got it from they think now defunct Etsy store that was based in Ukraine. So that's wild. Thought that was cool. But yeah, it was so great being around a bunch of other 21 Pilots fans. We sat like pretty close to the speaker, so I got to hear quite a lot of cool stuff in, at a high volume, close to my ears. Now I'll give some brief opinions. Sinner Mass, Tyler said in the commentary track, is his favorite song off the album. He said you're not gonna like it at first, which got a laugh from everybody, but that, like, give it a bit, and like after some listens you'll like it. But I don't know, it felt like complex and jazzy, because like a lot of the songs off this record feel very, I don't know, like upbeat, high energy, and melodic. And when they're not doing that, they're going to be like a little bit more downtrodden, but still brisk. Like, I'd say, like, not sullen, but like lower energy, but still keeping the pace of the record. But Sinner Mass felt like almost jazzy in a weird way. I really liked it. And the message to it was great. there's like the first half of this album has some really great lyrics. This whole album's just full of riffs, like awesome riffs and great production, like production choices. I'm so glad I sat close to the speaker because I feel like I got to hear a lot of the details. But somewhere around like halfway through the album, I don't know if it's just because I was standing for so long, but like there's a point in time where I'm no longer really listening to the details so much as I'm just like standing there and just taking each song in kind of almost as like this like blob. I don't know if that is reflective more of the album and maybe it losing steam, or if that's just the end of a long day and, you know, losing energy just as oneself, because I could feel the song still grabbing me and like still being high quality. Like Cottonwood is one of the slower, softer tracks off of the whole record, and that one I remember like really grabbing a hold of me. But I find that if you asked me to try to recall like details or like sing or hum anything from it, I don't know if I could. But I mean, I think that would be true if I heard Trench in public for the first time at a listening party, I would have probably had the same thing. Like, because there's a lot of songs off Trench where you really have to sink your teeth into for a while or get some listens in. And I'd say that there's a lot of tracks on here that have that effect. There's a lot of tracks on this album that I feel like are just dense with quality material that you've really got to like spend some time with. Not like so that you'd like it, but just that you really absorb it into you. Which, I mean, 21 Pilots fans that are going to go to a listening party are going to do that with these songs. Because, like, of course, I mean, even Scaled and Icy, I fell in love with, even though I slowly fell out of love with it. I like that album, don't get me wrong, but, like, I'm just going to make Scaled and Icy fans, I'm going to make Psy fans angry in the comments, making it sound like I don't like that album. But, like, I will fall in love with every 21 Pilots album, and it will be the thing that I just absorb into most of my days for about a year. It was a great year with Clancy. But step aside, because Breach is really freaking good. Robot Voices was interesting on account of it being a collaboration. It feels a lot more indie rock. There was another song that had a little bit of that effect, but I think that's just because, like, Tyler's getting better with including guitars in his songs, without it like having to have a hard rock edge to it. The bass lines in some of these songs are just just chef's kiss. I feel like Anthony Fantano will really enjoy the bass in this album. Because yeah, I feel like we've got like plenty of tracks that are very reminiscent of Trench, but many that are reminiscent of Clancy, and it's slightly more like pop rock energy and style. But God, there are some moments in this album that are like Vessel, or like, I don't know, Blurry Face. The song Downstairs, that's apparently been a demo that Tyler and Josh have been sitting on for 14 years. And yeah, let me tell you, it felt like I was listening to a Vessel or early Blurry Face era song being made today, which I've always wanted that. Doesn't mean it's going to be my favorite song off the album, but I love the idea of them revisiting a super old track and trying to bring it up to speed. Because Tyler said that he never wanted to touch that song again because he's changed so much in 14 years, but that Josh kind of insisted on it. Speaking of Josh, he also is the reason why Tally is on the record, which I thought was interesting when I heard that in the commentary track, because Navigating and Routines both made it onto the last record basically because Josh liked those songs so much. And yeah, Tally is another banger for sure. I just, whenever Josh likes a song and Tyler doesn't, you know that song's gonna be good, because Navigating and Routines are some of the best off Clancy. So yeah, I don't want to keep talking for too much longer because I've already talked for 10 minutes, but it's hard to speak about individual tracks because I only heard them once. It was in public. I was focused on the commentary tracks when they were on. But like, yeah, Center Mass, I think, is a masterpiece, pun partially intended. God, there's so many good ones in here. Songs early on, I forget what the titles are offhand, but this is going to be a special album. For me, Trench and Clancy sit in a similar place in my heart and in my mind, and just how I think about those two albums. And this is another one, you know what I mean? Like, Clancy and Trench don't feel like the same album, for sure. They have their own sound, they have their own energy, while being reminiscent of each other. This is just like that, you know? It sits in its own place. It feels very 2000s in a lot of different ways. I'm trying to remember which song felt like I was listening to like a British pop punk song. Like, oh man, I don't know enough about music history for me to like get more detailed than that, but this album felt like a love letter to different like genres and musical aesthetics that Tyler has been falling in love with, or has loved for a long time. Kind of in a similar way to how it felt like Lavish was bringing in some musical styles that like we haven't heard in a lot of 21 Pilots songs in the past. But clearly Tyler loves a lot and just wanted to incorporate into their music. I got a lot of that from Breach, you know, like trying new things in a way that's distinctly 21 Pilots without feeling like it came from a different band, you know? Also, I feel like a lot of these tracks were a little bit more dynamic than Clancy, for lack of a better term, I guess, because I feel in the Vessel and Blurry Face days, like, hell, Ode to Sleep, that's a song that's like binary, like on and off, day and night. We don't get anything quite that sharply contrasted in Breach, but we do get a lot of moments that are dynamic, like, whoa, I didn't expect that, or I feel like that contrast is gonna be the reason why I keep coming back to this song, in a way that I feel like we didn't get off of Clancy nearly that much. A lot of those songs were their identity in that one thing, but Breach kind of brings back in a little bit more of that dynamism. It's probably not even a word. But that dynamic song design. So I'm so excited to listen to this album again in 6 days. And I really hope that if you didn't get to, you know, go to one of the listening parties, that, you know, you don't rip your hair out waiting for the album release. Yeah, but if you did go to the listening party, I'd really like to hear what you thought, which song stood out to you. Was there any song that you didn't like? I feel like there's maybe a song or two in here that I didn't like adore, but that happens sometimes, where the first time you hear a song, you don't fall in love with it, but then like years down the line, or even just after a few more listens, it becomes your favorite song. There's times where that happens. So though I can't like recall one offhand by title that I just like didn't like, or just, you know, kind of like didn't love as much. Yeah, I didn't dislike any track off of Breach off first listen. But if you did, I'd really like to know why. So if you're watching this, maybe to the like, I don't know, 10 people that watch this, I'd really like to know your thoughts on Breach if you heard it, or just sharing anecdotes that you have. I'd really like to know. And thanks for listening to me. Type zoinks in the comments if you made it to minute 15 of this video that I thought I'd be recording 3 minutes of. Sweet Lord. All right. Thanks for listening. I have no way to end this video.